So I'm sitting on the grave of one Willaim Twiston Davies, and you'll notice from the tombstone here that it looks like the top has been broken off by vandals. But whenever you see this in a cemetery, that's not the case. What has happened is normally the broken off spire there signifies someone who has died before their due date, died in their youth, died young. And such was the case of Willaim Twiston Davies. He was known as Twiston, and he died at the age of 15 years and 10 months on the 10th of April 1938. So whenever you see, I always get quite fascinated in these sorts of graves because they normally have an interesting story to them, and this one indeed does. And what has happened, young Twiston, who lived at 90 Vicky Ave, or Victoria Avenue in Remuera, attended King's College. Obviously very interested in chemistry, very intelligent. Family was obviously quite rich, or certainly weren't poor. And but one of the interesting things, the 10th of April 1938 was a Sunday, and two of his mates from school were around, and they had organised to get some chemicals to make up an explosive mixture. And you know, that's always a fascination with young people, that sort of explosives and stuff, so I can completely understand the whole story. But what happened was they organised to take the chemicals down the backyard away from the house, and they mixed up this highly volatile mixture of bits and pieces, who knows. Well, it is specified what they used. And then theoretically you could set it off by putting concentrated sulfuric acid onto the mixture. So they went down the backyard, mixed up this stuff, put it on the ground, and there was still some in a jar which was being held by Winston. And then they had to pour some concentrated sulfuric acid onto the stuff to sort of set it off. I mean, if you're going to set off a bomb, you don't want to be that close. Anyway, the rashness of youth, it didn't go off the first time, so they poured some more sulfuric acid on there, and woof, the whole thing went up. And in that explosion, the force of the explosion caused what was in Twiston's hand to explode as well, and he was killed instantly. Blew his hand off. Obviously, the other two guys were pretty injured as well. They'd all be bending over, looking at trying to look at what the hell was happening with the stuff on the ground when it went off. So they were badly. One was badly injured, and the other wasn't too bad. They survived, but Twiston was killed outright, and his dad came running down. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that? Hearing an explosion in your backyard is never a good sound, and then when you come running down and you see that it's in fact your son that is dead, and probably not a very nice sight for a parent to see their child. He was the only son of, we've got Percy. Percy was his dad. Percy Twiston was his dad. He'd been a World War I veteran and had moved out from England to New Zealand. He unfortunately died on the 30th of December 1940, and I tried to look up his cause of death, but couldn't find anything. Couldn't find a death notice, couldn't find bugger all apart from a notice by Violet, his mother, thanking people for their kindness over the period. So possibly he committed suicide, I don't know. But I think one thing we can say is the poor man would have died of a broken heart. So dear old Violet, Twiston's mother, had the two most important men in her life go within a period of 2 years. At King's College, the chemistry prize, the prize for chemistry was named in honour of Twiston, so it's called the Twiston Davies Chemistry Prize. I don't know if it still goes, but it was there back in the 1930s and 40s. I'm not sure if that tradition is carried on. I must give them a call and find out. If I do, in fact, give them a call and find out, I'll put it down in the comments at some stage. But that's a story with dear old Twiston. Wow. One tragedy, eh? And all those ripples that flow out. Tough times, tough times. Anyway, you get to kind of know these things and their families, so I spent a bit of time just tidying up the old graveyard, getting rid of all the lichen that was on the monument part. There's a lot on the ground here, which I'm not going to worry about. But the actual part that stands up looks pretty darn good, actually. Got rid of all the lichen off there. Okay, well, it's been a beautiful day and a beautiful day to do this, but I'm out of here.